Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, everybody. If folks could wrap up your conversations and grab a seat, we are going to kick off in 60 seconds. So grab that coffee, grab a seat, and we're going to kick off in 60 seconds, all right? Be back in 60 seconds. All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the theGrandFarm Innovation Shop grand opening. Today is a true celebration of answering the question, what is our region's major? As we look back in history, we are a community that has solved problems, that has come together and has made a big impact in agriculture and global nutrition. And today, what you're going to have an opportunity is the celebration of this space, a space that came together because people believed in a possibility and a dream. We've got a bunch of content, and we're going to go super fast. We're going to move really quickly. So if you're speaking this morning, just kind of get ready. We're coming on up. I'm going to introduce you. We're going to go quick. Please eat, enjoy your coffee. And Mark Watney, the vice chair of the board, has a flight at 8:30, so he ensures us we're going to get done quickly. So when we kicked off this idea of what would it look like to build an innovation shop, a home for entrepreneurs and risk takers, for producers and established organizations, for philanthropists and policymakers, we had a vision that we needed a place. And so we had two folks that we thought could drive the capital campaign to make this possible. One was a member of the community here in Castleton, Bernie Sinner, who believed in the possibility, and the other was one of those rare entrepreneurs that put the first computer chip on a Steiger tractor. Since then, these two have led us to a successful capital campaign of $15.2 million because of the people in the room. So join me in welcoming to the stage Bernie Sinner and Barry Batchelor.
Good morning. What an incredible couple of months it's been since we were at the school and celebrating the announcement of this location. I can't help, if you haven't looked at the wall, I can't help but be amazed by the diversity of the group that said yes to this vision. From the smallest public entity of the Castleton Job Development Authority to the state of North Dakota, from the smallest companies that are startup and anxious to be a collaborator in agriculture, to those 100-year-old companies that have been around this region and want to just give back, to individuals that wanted to give back and accelerate this exciting region, to the biggest of the public mega companies, to the smallest of privately held businesses here in the community, an amazing group of people that have allowed us to finish this capital campaign in record time. It all started, though, with the vision of this man, so I want to give the microphone to him to hear about what inspired that.
Good morning. I have two thoughts I'd like to leave you folks with this morning that you should carry with you through the day. One is the first stanza of a poem that was written by Arthur O'Shannessy, and you may recognize the final line of this stanza, but he said, "We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams, world losers and world forsakers, on whom the pale moon gleams. Yet, we are the movers and shakers of the world, forever, it seems." That's the first. You folks, you are the movers and shakers. You are the ones who stepped forward. The second is a quote by George Bernard Shaw that's been plagiarized by everybody. But he said, "Some people see the world as it is and say, why? Others see the world as it could be and say, why not?" Now, the Kennedys are supposed to have said this and so on. But you folks, you stepped forward. You see the world as it might be. And with your donations, your philanthropy, your contributions of time and treasure, you said, why not? And indeed, why not? Here it is today. Congratulations to Greg and to you folks for getting this thing kicked off. And have a great morning. Greg?
Place matters. I grew up as a kid in a rural environment, drove the gravel roads. I got lost, much like Representative Nathy did this morning, and we realized Castleton is special. So it's with my honor to introduce you to the folks that have the privilege of serving this community, a community that many generations of my family belong to, and a place that is very, very special to many of us. So join me in welcoming to the stage Representative Brandy Pyle and Senator Mark Weber.
All right, we get to do the welcome, so welcome guests, colleagues. We're excited to host you in our small piece of heaven here in North Dakota. Grand Farm represents a step into the future of what can be, and that future is right here, just around the corner, especially when I live 2 miles down the road. So I get to watch it every day across the street, basically. So very excited to watch you grow. So congratulations to Greg, the Grand Farm Board, your partners, supporters, our community, and friends around the area. So welcome and enjoy today's events.
Good morning and welcome everybody to rural Cass County. I'm very privileged to have two great teammates, State Representative Brandy Pyle and Representative Jonathan Worry. Jonathan, where are you? We got a great team together. Those two got the brains and I got the height. But again, welcome. It's very inspiring here to see the dedication and the support that you as entrepreneurs and businessmen, you've put money on the line to make this possible, and that's very impressive as we look to the future where we go, things that we have never thought imaginable or even possible, and that's a great thing to see. When we look around the world as competitive of a marketplace that we live, we're doing the right thing so that we can lead the way into the future, and I'm very proud of what you have all accomplished, and we're looking forward to great things. Again, welcome to this part of the world, and we wish you all the best and congratulations, and thank you for kicking this off. It's a great day, so have a good one.
When Grand Farm kicked off, if you know me or Brian, you know we don't know much about agriculture. In fact, we don't know much at all. And so we formed a steering committee of folks that could help us. Hold on, Doug. You're one more. We formed a steering committee of folks that could help us identify problems that agriculture technology could solve. And it was filled with incredible folks. And one of those folks was Tammy Miller. She was serving as the CEO of Border States at the time. She talked about safety and risk. Now she serves all of us as North Dakota's Lieutenant Governor. So join me in welcoming to the stage the Pride of Brockett, Tammy Miller.
Well, good morning, everyone. What a great day. Congratulations, Greg, and everyone here for this amazing facility and the amazing next step in the Grand Farm. As Greg said, I was part of the ground floor with Grand Farm, had the privilege of serving on the steering committee when we were trying to figure out what the organizational structure should look like, and all of those fun details. So it is so exciting to see this vision turned into reality. Uh, Again, I served on the steering committee, and our administration has been very supportive of the Grand Farm from day one. Governor Burgum was with President Brad Smith from Microsoft when we launched that partnership in 2019. We had a $10 million grant from the Accelerate ND program to help the work being done out here on the Grand Farm. I was part of the team that announced that the day that the group had achieved their $15.1 million capital campaign goal, and we were out here to announce the anchor partner with AgsCo. So it has been so fun to be part of this journey. But I know as a CEO, I had served as a CEO at Border States for 14 years, and I know as a CEO, these kind of projects don't get off the ground in any community without great private sector support. So I am so grateful for all of the private sector folks that are here supporting this project. This couldn't have happened without you, and we are so excited to see what the next step will be in this journey as we continue to convert this vision of the Grand Farm into reality. We know that agriculture is one of our top industries in the state of North Dakota, and the work that's being done here will help us continue to feed the world. So thank you all for being part of this, and thank you for helping us do the work we do every day in the state of North Dakota as we empower people, improve lives, and inspire success. Thank you for being here. Congratulations.
At the heart of the Grand Farm is the grower. How many grew up on a family farm? How many have lied and said they did? Okay, Blair. But we know that the grower matters. And when we think about the possibility of technology, we know that it has the ability to make a difference for growers, for folks that wake up early, that stay up late, that take risks and solve problems. And so it's my honor to introduce our Agriculture Commissioner for the state of North Dakota, Doug Goring.
Thank you, and good morning. I got 3 emails from you. I didn't get the updated agenda, so yeah, I guess that's my fault. Well, thank you, everyone. What a great day to be here to celebrate this wonderful complex and everything that they're going to bring to the table, everything they brought to the table already. I got to tell you, the first time that Greg came and saw me, he came and he wanted to talk about Grand Farm. And I said, oh. I said, well, Greg, here's the problem I'm dealing with. And I said, everybody was aware and all that was being talked about was autonomous. And I said, the problem I have is part of the public already feels all we do is go to the mailbox. Now they're going to think we go to the mailbox, then go to our recliner and farm. And he said, no, it's going to be different. We're going to help people develop concepts. We're going to take things a bit further. We're going to look at some prototypes, experiment, research, all this stuff that's going to make a difference. You know, you guys already have a world-class ag system. He said, we just want to enhance it and bring more to the table. And I appreciate that because the times that I've had an opportunity to go visit Grand Farm, meet some of the people, the cooperators and the people working there, it's amazing what they're doing. And yes, I did happen to say what we really need, not autonomous vehicles necessarily, but we need somebody that is going to fill the drill and then go get parts. You still haven't delivered on that one, but it's all right. We're turning a corner. We have such a wonderful, efficient, effective, and proficient agricultural system in the world. The U.S. and North Dakota agriculture can be very proud of what we've already accomplished, but what we're going to accomplish. I appreciate it very much. Wonderful opportunity. Congratulations. I'm glad we broke ground. We'll see what's next. Thank you.
So Grand Farm is a collection of 70 partners from across both the community here in Castleton and nationally. But we got our start with a federal grant. Who else can ever say their startup got its start with a federal grant? Well, we did because we saw this big grant and they're like, hey, there's a bunch of money. And so the team formed and we filled out this grant and we were so excited. We went and drank beers out at the original site that Kevin and Stacy Bifford donated. Jay Schuler was there and Taya was there and we were so excited. We took a picture and we did terrible. The feds came back and said we had no chance. You have a lot of room for improvement. But that's when we got started. But about 10 days ago, or 2 weeks ago, we found out that the Small Business Administration recognized in a federally competitive grant the GrandFarm ecosystem, the collection of all of you, and they made an award to us. And so the pride of Bismarck, the National Ecosystem Director for the Small Business Administration, Brittany Sickler, is here to give a few words from Washington. Join me in welcoming Brittany!
Thank you, Greg. It is a pleasure to be here. I come from the place in DC where we care so much about how startups, the innovators, are part of innovation, technology sectors. So of all the crazy things being invented, designed, how are the small businesses kind of part of what's keeping us on our toes and actually what's driving us ahead? But I have another reason I'm very excited, not just because of what's happening here, but I even got my start in the Small Business Administration in Fargo just over 10 years ago. So to see all of the change from that time until now is absolutely incredible. And when we think about all of the different kinds of organizations, the network that make things happen, you can look across the room today. So from the actual startup to the nonprofit help, to the state side, to folks representing on a regional level, to the federal level, and think about all the different pieces that come together, the technical expertise, the physical infrastructure, the money, the support, encouragement. And that's honestly what so much of my team now has the chance to focus on. And a lot of the roots of what our vision is, now looking nationally, is often inspired by Fargo and the things that have happened here. So when Greg mentions the prize and this Accelerator Prize, it was a very competitive prize this year, over 700 applications around the country of all these ecosystems saying, we want to build a connected technology innovation hubs with partners, but really being able to articulate that vision and show the things that have happened, the things that could be, is how GrandFarm got to be part of a very small select group. So I'm thrilled not only to support on a personal level, but the fact that my team, apart from me, made the decisions to support and then to be here today. So thank you so much, and I am very thrilled that we get to continue working together.
When we started our process to invite the legislators to support us financially, they said you have to be relevant beyond Castleton. Just because it's a home of 5 governors doesn't mean all things revolve around Castleton. And we wanted to be relevant statewide. And we're so grateful to have 2 gentlemen up next that serve in our legislature, one from Dickinson, one from Watford City. They have a tremendous background and history of committing to solving problems, to being possibility-oriented, and they're here today. So join me in welcoming from Dickinson, North Dakota, our House Majority Leader, Mike LaFleur, and Senator Dale Patton.
Well, thank you, Greg, for inviting us to speak here today. This is truly an honor for me. It really is. When Greg said that you're having your dedication, I couldn't wait to get here fast enough and to see all the things that are happening out here. When you talk about drones and all the technology that's going to be involved in making food secure and the autonomous semi machine that picks weeds without even having to use spray, and that list goes on and on and on. I couldn't be happier to be here today to congratulate you for all your hard work. And don't you enjoy Greg Tavine's passion? We know that everything starts out with a dream, an idea, and a concept. Now it comes down to execution. And I couldn't be more excited to be associated with people like Greg and people here at GrandFarm. This is going to be a tremendous success. This is a day to savor. This is a day to enjoy. So congratulations and best of luck in the future.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Greg, for the opportunity. I'm actually here filling in for Senator Sorvag. He had a conflict that he was not able to get out of, and it's actually a good thing because Ron has never given a 45-second speech in his life. Greg, you either have blind faith or misplaced faith in fighting a whole bunch of legislators to come and speak and limit their time to 45 seconds each. It's kind of appreciate the faith. I want you guys to think of North Dakota in a little different light than maybe you have in the past. We are an energy superpower. We're an ag superpower, and we're becoming a technology superpower. And when you put those three things together and you think of that economy that's based on energy, ag, and technology, I think our opportunities are unlimited and going to be well recognized as we move forward. And GrandFarm is a classic example of the innovation that we have in North Dakota and the things that we can do. We very much appreciate the opportunity to help you get where you're going, Greg. Thank you.
So the state allocates 10 million bucks, and they said, "Can you match it?" And we said, "Absolutely." And we were 100% bluffing. And so we were so grateful that Morgan Fornes brought us over to meet Gary Theraldson, and we were going to ask him for $300,000 that day. I drove my minivan, I pulled up, and I'm like, what am I doing? And so I walked in with Morgan and Bernie, and we didn't know what we were going to do. We talked Castleton girls basketball, how the team was going for the first 16 minutes, and he said, "Hey, are you going to help out, or are you here to invite me to be part of GrandFarm?" I said, "Absolutely," and he made a commitment of $1 million. And he said, "I want the community to match it." So, okay, 1 million was done. Then we got to figure out, what do we do next? And then I thought, well, the bank should help. And my dad had spent his entire career at Egg Country. And I grew up going to their holiday parties and you know, doing all those things, but I didn't realize Egg Country was a bank. And that was an attempt at humor. And so it was Dan Crest who had just moved to the area from Omaha. And it was our first Ag Tech Week. And he said, "Greg, I'm going to get my friends involved." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And, you know, there's a couple Coors Lights involved, and Seth was singing karaoke. And all of a sudden, he calls, and he said, "Greg, Ag Country, our friends at CoBank, Compeer, and Farm Credit Services of America are going to make a contribution to this project for over $1 million." And our local leader, Mark, from Ag Country, is here today to let us know why they made that commitment and what they see as possible. Join me in welcoming to the stage, Mark.
Thanks, Greg, and it is truly an honor to be a foundational contributor to such a great event. It does take a village to do these types of things, so give yourselves a round of applause for being part of that village. And I'd like to thank the legislature and the governor's office. Being able to have a matching grant program was really instrumental, I think, in bringing this together. As a farm credit service organization, Ag Country serves 25,000 farmers and ranchers across 3 states. And for us to make an investment and for Dan to lead a coalition of farm credit entities, including CoBank, Compeer, and Farm Credit Services of America, to make that size of a contribution, being able to leverage those funds that the legislature put into place, I think, was key to getting this done and key to making this project move forward. We're interested in fulfilling our mission of serving agriculture in rural America. It is all about, we believe, the transformational changes that are taking place in agriculture. And this innovation campus, while it's local, and we're all very proud of the local connection, it's a global impact that it's going to have. And we're glad to be a part of that, and we're glad that we were able to have Greg join our holiday parties over his growing up. So, and I didn't wear a sport coat today because I knew you wouldn't have one. So, congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Mark. So we're out raising money, and I'm thinking like, oh God, who's going to help us? And the Convention and Visitors Bureau, I'm like, hey, they're paid to bring people to town. We want to bring people to town. How many stayed in a hotel last night? Okay, good. We did our job. So Charlie Johnson, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, they made a contribution to this project in a very meaningful way. They're going to be supporting our parking lot. We thought it was fitting. And also fueling our future. A group of community leaders said, hey, we want to power this community, much as Senator Patton said, to do new and non-traditional things to make it better. So join me in welcoming to the stage two of our local community advocates that believe in making this place as special as possible, Charlie Johnson and Shannon Fulp.
All right, Shannon, I'm going first. For a quick quiz before I go to my notes, because I wanted to be tight. What's the number one industry in North Dakota? Energy, oil, right? What's the number two industry? Agriculture, yes. What's the number three industry? Travel and tourism, that's right. So this is why we're interested in this. And I'm very happy to work for a board of directors that recognizes Visit Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo's role in bringing not just leisure, sports, and convention visitors to town, but also business travelers. Business travelers are a huge part of our economy here. Of course, the travel industry, as you know, is a vital part of the whole thing nationally as well. And we understand that the presence of an innovative effort like GrandFarm, congratulations, Greg, on thinking of this, right? It was your idea, is already bringing and will continue to bring visitors to town. I saw some hands staying in hotels, right? We also understand that those who visit us for reasons of business are maybe just slightly more likely to think about moving here or relocating a business here as well. So these kinds of things are vital to the ongoing elevation of our communities as places to live and work, especially as we look to replenish our workforce and bring new business to town. So congratulations to everybody. Thank you for letting us be part of this.
So first, let me begin by a congratulations and thank you, a heartfelt thank you. When we look at this region, when we look at this state, there's no doubt it's a legacy that is built upon agriculture, a legacy that is built upon vision. And when I look at Greg, the very first time that I met Greg, you have an amazing insatiable vision for what you wanted to see. Many people think I have a lot of energy, and I often say just look at Greg Tavine instead. So, but your tenacity and persistence is really something that I have come to admire. The other thing that I would say is that you have a team that is second to none. Your team is we can see passion and dedication in each and every one of your team members, along with your volunteer team, steering committee, and whatnot. Yeah, as we look at both, Fueling Our Future was an initiative between the Greater Fargo-Moorhead Economic Development Corporation and the Chamber. And when Greg came to the leadership, there was no doubt that this was a project that was going to set us apart from everyone else. Because what we are in it, and I know that Greg shares this same courageous will and competitive drive that many of us face. And so when we look at what is going to set us apart, what is our differentiator in a global marketplace, it is agriculture technology. And so this is going to give us a project that allows us to not only have a legacy for which we built a foundation upon, but it will create the legacy of the future. So to everyone who's invested in this, thank you so much. And it gives me a great pleasure to represent an organization that is so excited to stand alongside you. Thanks, Greg.
We need technology, and that means we need connectivity, and we need global friends. Our next two folks that are coming up are folks that have made this project possible. Seth is the CEO of the Dakota Carrier Network, the folks that lit up the state of North Dakota and our GrandFarm. And Todd is here, multi-generational leader who has the opportunity to do work all around the world. And when he learned about the project, he said, we want to be part of it. We want to bring our international friends to GrandFarm. So join me in welcoming to the stage, Seth and Todd.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, congratulations, and I just want to echo the comments of not only Greg and his energy, but the team at the GrandFarm. DCN has been watching this project since the very onset, and it just fits in with everything that we do from the DCN business model, where all these 13 different rural providers realize that North Dakotans need to have access to state-of-the-art internet to serve not only the schools and governmental entities, but they brought fiber all the way out to the farmsteads. North Dakota leads the country in fiber optic connectivity, and the Grand Farm, with the startup companies that are coming here and looking at how do we utilize technology. We have over 65,000 miles of fiber going across the state of North Dakota. But when it comes to agriculture, it's not just bringing fiber to this building, it's bringing connectivity to every acre. And from DCN's perspective, we want to make sure that we're investing in technology that are going to help producers be more efficient, that are going to help solve some of the labor problems that have been identified. Greg talks a lot about that. It's not just about the coolness of it. It's really how do we make this more sustainable. So we're just so proud to be a part of this. MLGC is the owner company that actually brought fiber in. So DCN, we don't go out and plow across the state. All of these rural providers do. And North Dakota, this is a statewide initiative from DCN's perspective. It's not just what's going to happen here on this parcel of land. It's how do we scale that across the state. And so we're just so excited to see this evolve. Congratulations, and thank you for the opportunity.
Good morning. Thank you, Greg, for the opportunity to say a few words today at this exciting Grand Farm opening event. As multi-generational business leaders, we are thrilled that it came together here in Castle, North Dakota, where we all grew up. Over the years, we've seen firsthand the powerful impact of strong partnerships, innovation, and long-term investments. And that's why we chose to partner with Grand Farm. We are proud of our state, its leadership. Our food customers from all over the world choose products produced here in North Dakota. We are excited and eager to host those international guests, hundreds of them, that visit every year the Grand Farm campus and to showcase the cutting-edge research that will transcend agriculture. In closing, I would just like to commend all those involved in this effort and truly making yet another monumental mark for North Dakota agriculture. Thank you.
So Emerging Prairie and Grand Farm are like this joint collaboration, and we got boards. And so like I have to report to them. I have a board meeting on Friday. Terrible idea. Board report's not prepared, but we're going to give it our best. But we have boards that care. We have boards that are making sure that we're good stewards of your resources, that we're strategically aligned, that we have fiduciary responsibilities. And these folks dive in. They're challenging us, and they're encouraging us. So I'd like to invite you to meet two of our board members that are overseeing this effort, that are helping us make great decisions. So from the Emerging Prairie Board, from Dickinson, North Dakota, Cody, and from the Grand Farm Board from Jamestown, North Dakota, Mark. Join me in welcoming Cody and Mark.
Thanks, Greg. My day job is actually working with 50 South Capital, and we have the privilege of betting on North Dakota every single day as we serve as a general partner for the in-state investment vehicle. And I think one of the things that is really powerful about Grand Farm is that as we look at the opportunity set and how do we continue to support startups, they need customers, they need capital, but more importantly, they need community. And what Grand Farm has done is it's planted a flag to say, we are here to champion you, the ones that are brave and willing to take the road less traveled, and we need more of that. And so when you think about how the ecosystem continues to evolve, what's so baked in on that for Grand Farm is this whole thesis of possibility. And for that, just incredibly grateful from a 50 South standpoint. But on behalf of the board, the team is all in the back. There is not a team anywhere in the state who out-hustles, who asks bigger questions, and does it all with such a centered focus on a go-giver mentality. All of us here are the benefactors of how Emerging Prairie and Grand Farm leads, and just want to say thank you so much for, again, changing what's possible. And to the students in the room, what a gift that we're giving to young people, that you can stay here and do something remarkable in North Dakota. And so cheers to Grand Farm, cheers to the Grand Farm Board for all the hard work, and we're looking forward to what's next.
Well, Greg suggested that we're going to be on time. I'm going to start back at the Stone Age and walk us through history. No, I'm not going to. I have a plane to catch, so I'm going to be very brief. First of all, vision is something not everybody has. It's a quality. Innovation is the science and the ability to bring that vision together. And then, of course, timing is everything. We are at the time when it's very essential that we start to look at where is agriculture into the future, where are we going to lead the nation, where are we going to lead the world, and how are we going to stay competitive. I'm very fortunate I'm able to travel through the World Farm Organization, the International Seed Federation, and I get to see a lot of the agriculture around the world. And I will tell you that we're really good, but there's others that are really good too. And it's essential that we here in North Dakota, because it is a great mainstay to our country to have this amazing ability to produce food, especially in the breadbasket of the country. And I think we take it for granted so often because we're so good at it that we forget that we can't just rely on how we used to do it in the past. So family farmers and ranchers rely on having additional technology available to them. We need this test facility to be able to kind of weed out what's real, what makes economic sense, what actually solves a problem on the farm, and what doesn't. So I just want to give a big thank you to the Emerging Prairie for sharing their knowledge, sharing their expertise, giving an opportunity for the Grand Farm to start. A thank you to the legislature for giving us the dollars necessary to get this thing rolling, and maybe into the future we can attract more dollars, not only from the legislature, from a bunch of area private industry, and turn this into a success story. A thank you to NDSU for partnering with us on many of the projects. I see Greg Lardy here. Thanks again for your work. And I think this is going to be a very good combined effort. So thank you all. Thank you to Greg. And I look forward to being on this board for a period of time and making sure the Farmers Union is supportive in finding ways, bringing farmers and ranchers to the site, and making it an effective opportunity for us to learn, grow, and continue the great production system we have in the nation. Thank you.
So we had this idea to raise money. Senator Hoeven said, I'll throw a dinner for you. We had the CEO of CHS there. We had the president of Bobcat. We had steering committee members, and we had Howard Dahl. And there was a moment at the dinner where he described the possibility of technology in making a difference. He described experiences in Gwinner, North Dakota, of his family bringing the Bobcat to life, his work in the modern era in overseas, and now with Farm QA. He was the first person to put his hand up and made a contribution to this effort, and he'll be our last remarks today. Join me in welcoming one of the great North Dakotans from one of the great families that makes our place great. Join me in welcoming to the stage, Howard Dahl.
I thought my father and grandfather would have just loved being here. I thought about 1964, the National Plowing Contest, just about 8 miles down the road. There's a bunch of stories I'd like to say about that, but I won't. There are a couple thoughts we've had throughout our business career. One is there are 3 kinds of people: the people that make things happen, the people that watch things happen, and the people that say, what happened? And sometimes the people that make things happen also say what happened in a good way. And I think that's really what we've seen here. I'm excited. We have 2 great universities, and I'm grateful to see both Greg and Andy here. And I think there's so many ways we can cooperate between the UAS. You know, what is possible. I was with a guy who stayed at my home last night who is using Starlink in marvelous ways. And what lies ahead of us is just unlimited, and we just need to keep dreaming. And I'll close with another thought that was a huge inspiration for us in our early years, and it was Tom Peters' book, In Search of Excellence. He said the great companies go ready, fire, aim, instead of ready, aim, fire. And we made the mistake sometimes to say fire, ready, aim. So but we erred on that side, and that's what risk takers do. And I could talk all day about Barry's influence in making the Steiger business great. And Joel, what you and your team have done at Bobcat is just, it's so exciting just to see the continued development. And I know if my grandfather and father were here, they would just be smiling the whole time. So thank you. And let's just all continue to make this an extra special place. Thank you.
GrandFarm is an ecosystem. Phase 1 of the GrandFarm Capital Campaign set out to acquire 140 acres to build a 25,000 square foot facility. Where you are today, this is the first ever event. We just got occupancy this morning. Fire Marshal, Brandy kind of pulled some strings. But what this is a facility to do demos for hosting. We have 44 organizations that have already booked the facility. Egg Country, Microsoft, and CHS, some of our first partners, will have their first gathering here to kick off the space. The facility to the west of us is where AGCO will bring their Precision Technology Institute to the north. AGCO has 4 dedicated farms, one in Zambia, one in Switzerland, one in Illinois, and now one here in Castleton, North Dakota. They'll bring 10,000 guests this summer, farmers and educators, to learn about the power of technology. On their farm, you'll see all the colors of all the equipment because they're collaborating, and it's an independent, neutral platform. We're going to build out a technology demonstration area where new hardware can be designed and showed off. We will have the ability for startup plots. We're oversubscribed on our startup plots. We have over 8 international tours booked, and this facility is going to be utilized really, really well. We take our responsibility very serious as stewards of your resources. We're also a home of collaboration. Today amongst you is a group from the United States Department of Agriculture's Agriculture Research Group. They partner with us both in Mandan, Fargo, and Lincoln, Nebraska. We've got our friends from Montana here from the Headwaters Technology Association. These folks are bringing a technology hub to the Midwest where photonics and sensors can make a difference for agriculture. We're part of a week that's bigger than ourselves with the Ag Tech Week, with Bushels User Conference, with the Chambers event. North Dakota State University will launch 2 buildings. And so GrandFarm has never been about the buildings. It's always been about the people. And so we hope today, this morning, it gives you a sense of who's involved and who cares. We'll have a photo for all of our speakers, the elected officials that made this happen, and our board of directors right outside here. And then there will be 489 people here this morning and not one more because we don't have code for that, for the celebration. But we're going to have a program on stage. Our biggest thing we hope you will do is to dream, to think about the possibilities. This weekend, I drove my kids around the neighborhood and I shared where my grandparents grew up and the church I went to. And I think this place is a place of collaboration. It's a place of possibility where neighbors help neighbors and people solve real problems. What the outside folks have taught me is this is a place that dreams big and does things bigger than ourselves. And so I'm grateful for all of you for making this happen. This is the completion of the phase 1 of the GrandFarm Capital Campaign. We would ask that you head out of this building really quick because we have 10 minutes to flip the space, to meet one another, and to share your encouragement and excitement for the possibilities of agriculture in North Dakota. We'll see you back here at 9 a.m.